y'all, my name's Robin and thank you so much for deciding to hang out with me today on another video. Today's video is part of the Minis Fall Challenge hosted by Crafted by Corie. Today I have got 5 absolutely adorably cute Dollar Tree fall mini DIYs. So if you're into fall, you love tiered trays, stay tuned. I got you covered. Okay, y'all, let's get into this first DIY. What you're going to need is some fabric or burlap of your choice, and you'll want to cut it to about 8 to 9 inches by about 7.5 inches. You'd rather have too much than not enough. So the first thing I did was fold over and make a seam, just like you see me doing there. This just makes it made it easier for me to kind of deal with and to form it into the cone shape. Next, you'll want to fold over one corner to make kind of a triangle, and you're going to hot glue that to the seam that we just made. You'll also need for this project a fabric pumpkin or any kind of pumpkin really of your choice. I got my fabric pumpkin at Walmart for 98 cents because I never could find them at the Dollar Tree. So just fold that over into a triangle. And don't worry, you're going to have some excess at the bottom, but you can cut that off and shape it up as you see fit. Now I'm just making his beard using some twine. I just wrapped it around my hand about 50 times, cut it in half, and then hot glued it to the top of the pumpkin for his beard. I cut it in half again and glued the rest to the top of a pumpkin for a fuller beard. Next, I'm just taking a plain wood bead and gluing that directly to the pumpkin for his little nose. Next, I'm gluing the hat to the top of his nose to where it kind of covers it a little bit. You know, it's a gnome thing. Then I just fold down the top of his hat just a little bit and hot glue that in place. Then I just added a little flower and gave him a quick little trim up haircut. And this little guy is so cute. I added a piece of ribbon to the brim of his hat, and he's just absolutely adorable. This Minis Challenge is hosted by Crafted by Corie. If you've never visited her channel, the link to her channel will be in the description box below. If you love hauls, farmhouse decor, seasonal decor, everything in between, go by and check out her channel. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. You won't be disappointed. She's a wonderful creator. So for this challenge, we had to create at least 3 DIYs with a fall Halloween theme. They had to be mini. And there are lots of wonderful creators in this playlist, which I will have linked below. Be sure to visit that playlist and go give the other creators some love. The inspiration for this little DIY came when I was walking through Hobby Lobby in the fall section, and I saw these adorable little straw hats. And I thought, what could I put those little hats on and make scarecrows? And it just hit me, salt and pepper shakers. So naturally, I had to search about a dozen Dollar Trees because even though I'd seen them all summer, you can't find them now. But I did manage to find a couple. So what I did was just paint the jar only with 2 coats of the Apple Barrel Warm Buff. And then I used the, oh, what color was it? Nutmeg Brown for the handle of the jar, just to give it a little bit of interest. And I also used the Nutmeg Brown on the lid itself. Then I just took some hot glue and some raffia and glued on some hair around the lid, just as much or as little as you like, just to give our little scarecrow, you know, he's got to have hair. Y'all, if you're enjoying this video, I would so appreciate you smashing that like button and giving it a big old thumbs up, because that helps YouTube recognize my channel and promote it just a little bit more. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would love to have you as part of the Unleashed family. That little hat fits perfectly on top of the jar, so I just hot glued it down. And now I'm giving him a haircut. Next, I'm taking my Arteza markers and drawing on his little scarecrow face, just triangles for the eyes and nose and a squiggly little mouth. Now, recently somebody asked me how I keep the paint from chipping off glass. So what I use is the Rust-Oleum Clear Matte Sealer. You can easily get it at Walmart. Great stuff. I can't recommend it highly enough. And I can't believe nobody caught this in my previous video, but I like to give my little scarecrows a candy corn nose. And I just realized I was painting the candy corn wrong. I went white, yellow, orange instead of going white, orange, yellow. Nobody caught that. But I will link a video below to one that I did recently that turned out so cute. It's on a little bit bigger scale, but again, it's using a jar. It costs you next to nothing, and it's adorable. So this little scarecrow is done. I just added a couple of little flowers to his hat, and he is so cute. For this next DIY, you're going to want one of these triangle-shaped decor pieces from the Dollar Tree. And I just gave it one good coat of my cashew chalk paint by Waverly. Front, back, sides, bottom, all over. Now, y'all, I got it right this time. I'm using some craft paint that I got from Hobby Lobby in the terracotta and in the mustard yellow. And I just painted on the candy corn. Like I said, I got it right this time. Y'all gonna have to start reminding me. Then I thought, let's make her cute. So I added some googly eyes, a little smiley face. I did some whimsical little stitches around the outline, around the triangle itself with just a Sharpie. Put a little twine bow up at the top. She's just cute. How can you not smile when you see her? She's so cute. Okay, y'all, for this next DIY, all you'll need is a scrap piece of wood, some burlap, raffia, paint, and some little flowers. So I started out by painting my block of wood with Cashew Waverly chalk paint and glued some raffia on top of my block. Next, I'm just cutting out a piece of burlap to make for his hat. So can y'all tell I like making scarecrows and candy corn? I don't know, they just make me happy. So anyway, I'm just kind of fitting that around there, seeing what I want to do. So I make a seam and just use some hot glue, and that kind of makes the brim of his hat there. Now, in hindsight, I wished I'd have done his hat just a little different, but I think he's cute just the way he turned out. So I attached it around the top of the block with some hot glue. Then I'm just kind of folding the top of the burlap down and securing it with some hot glue again. And in hindsight, it would have been a lot easier to have done this when I still had the burlap laying on the table before I attached it. But, live and learn. Now, I didn't show this step, but I took a piece of 2.5-inch ribbon and folded it and hot glued it for the brim in kind of like that denim color. And then I just hot glued some raffia and some little flowers coming out of the top of his hat. So here we go again, drawing on his little face. I'm just using my Arteza paint markers. You could use a paintbrush, you know, whatever you have. If you don't feel comfortable drawing on faces, you could always Google and come up with an image and transfer it on that way using some carbon paper. But for this one, I'm just making little ovals for his eyes. And I'm going to give him the triangle nose again and paint it up like candy corn. And guess what? I painted it wrong. But in my defense, this DIY was recorded probably 2.5 weeks ago. So that was when I was still getting things backwards. So I've learned. Remember, it's white, orange, yellow. And then I just give him the little squiggly happy mouth and add some little details to his eyes, color in his nose. And he turns out super duper cute. So which little scarecrow do y'all like better? Do you like the little salt shaker one or the chunky wood one? Let me know in the comments, because I think I like the little salt shaker one. Anyway, moving on to this next DIY. You're going to need one of these hexagon-shaped decor pieces from Dollar Tree. And all I did was give it one good coat of the agave chalk paint from Waverly. And I think I gave it 2 coats. Just using my heat gun to dry it in between coats. And I just went around the edges because we're going to be using some scrapbook paper for this pumpkin. Now, normally I do not cut out like in the middle of a piece of paper, but there was a specific part of this paper that I wanted in the center. And as you see, it's like, the little truck. I love the little truck. So I just attach that piece of paper, scrapbook paper, to the piece using my disappearing purple glue stick. Y'all, I love the disappearing purple glue stick. If you've not tried it, you can pick it up at Dollar Tree. They have it very inexpensively at Walmart. I never, ever have an issue getting things to stick with that glue. And what I go over my paper projects like this with a coat of Mod Podge to protect it. So here I am just taking my sanding block once the glue had dried, and I am just using a downward motion to get my edges super smooth and remove the excess paper. And y'all, if you have never tried this technique, it comes out looking like this paper was made onto this piece. Now, I first saw this particular piece of scrapbook paper used by my good friend Brenda over at Rustic and Lace DIY. So when I went to Hobby Lobby, I was bound and determined to find this paper. And I also found a complementing plaid that I put on the other side, just using the same technique. Now for the stem, I'm using cinnamon sticks. Very inexpensive. You can pick them up at the Dollar Tree. I took one stick, cut it in half, and glued the 2 pieces together, then glued it to the top of my pumpkin. Then I attached 2 little leaves that I picked up from Hobby Lobby to a piece of twine. And I think it's just really, really pretty. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope I've inspired you to go out and create some fall DIYs of your own. Be sure to subscribe and have those notification bells set to all, because I will see you guys again on Monday with another video. And until then, y'all stay safe and go get your craft on. Bye.